Apparently Jennie has a scandalous picture and what that is about. People also believe that she posted a picture of V and his dog and why this is causing some controversy. And then we have V calling JK pretty and why this is a little bit controversial. So hey dumplings and Dave Desai, let's get into it. There were some photos and videos that had gotten people very excited. Basically, it was a photo of a bunch of videos put together of V calling JK pretty. This was so cute because a lot of people believed that this was a moment in which it showed that the two were in a relationship or something of that sort. These were moments in which he was in Jeju and JK happened to be there, or they were doing something and the two members found themselves to be alone or whatever. Now, there's been a huge rise of this type of content ever since the rise of Jimin and JK content started coming out. So after the reality show that Jimin and JK have called Are You Sure came out, people were then trying to debunk the theory that everyone was going with this idea that the two were in a relationship together. The way people were debunking that theory was by saying that actually V and JK were in a relationship. And so they take a lot of these moments that they kind of compile together. Now this is the issue that I have with this specifically and these trends and these things. It's totally fine if a moment happens in which we see V and JK together and then you start trending that moment because you're thinking it's cute and you're just loving it. You can do that and that's fine. However, it's a completely, and I mean completely different thing to trend a moment of V and JK and bring up that moment or moment from the past just because you see Jimin and JK trending. And of course, this happens vice versa too. So when people see V and JK trending, suddenly Jimin and JK are trending too. And as I hinted or mentioned just now, these are not moments that are new. These are moments that are brought up from the past. So it's not like these things, people have anything new to add to the conversation. They're just adding their 2 cents back into it because they know that other people are talking about the other shit that they don't agree with. I think this is pretty toxic in a lot of ways. I think it's really toxic to attack another group that you disagree with and to say that they're awful people or that their beliefs are just stupid just because you believe the other side of that. And of course, in K-pop fashion, they never mention that to be the actual reason as to why they're upset. They always then make up a different reason as to why they're upset. But I did want to talk about this particular moment in which V did call JK sexy. And the point of that was just a cute moment. I don't think these moments represent anything in particular, and I don't think that they were trying to push their relationship or show how much they love each other romantically. Sometimes a compliment is literally just a compliment, and sometimes friends are allowed to compliment each other and call each other sexy and do those things. I mean, the community thinks sometimes when people fly out to see each other, that means that they're in a relationship with each other. Meanwhile, most people, if you are someone who is an avid internet user and you make internet friends, or even if you're just someone who has a lot of business partners or has a way of connecting with people internationally or within your country, then you might have friends that are across the country or across the pond, and you might have to fly out to see them. That doesn't mean that you're in a relationship with them. That just means that you're flying out to catch up or to meet them in person again or for the first time. So when two people are close friends with each other, flying out for each other, I don't see how that means that they're dating. So that was a bit rambly, but I promise that the next topic is probably going to be a little less rambling. There was a photo that was shared of Jennie. This was from a recent video that she posted, and people were shaming her for seemingly wearing less clothes. Now, of course, I have to get into and talk about that a little bit before we move on. But basically, people were shaming her, saying that she looks too provocative or whatever it is. Now, aside from the fact that shaming someone for how they dress is absolutely barbaric and is so old and a conservative type of thinking, but we're all aware that someone dressing more provocatively or that they might dress more outlandish is for the sake of entertainment, right? Like, it's done for the sole purpose of looking good on camera or standing out on camera and doing that sort of stuff. So judging how a woman looks, especially a celebrity, not even knowing if this is how the woman dresses day to day, or even just the idea that they could be forced to do this, or even just simply the fact that they may not even like doing it, they just know that that's what they're supposed to do in order to have a career. For example, if it was your job to do something that you're uncomfortable with, but your career hangs in the balance of doing that thing that you're uncomfortable with, you're gonna do it. Celebrities or models who might pose without any clothes on for either a magazine or just a tasteful photograph of them being without clothes will tell you that it's uncomfortable, even if it's tasteful, that it's always going to be uncomfortable to be that naked. However, they do it and they just get comfortable. Now, the thing that bothers me about this was the fact that people were bringing V into this, saying that V seeing this might get him really happy while he's in the military. This plays on various different things. Of course, one of the more obvious ones is just simply the fact that he is in the military, and military men used to look at these hot girls and touch themselves while they're in the military. That is exactly what the pinup girl magazines were for in the military, and etc. This is something that historically has been known. However, V only needs to serve in the military for 1.5 years. He's not like a soldier that's at war or has been in the military for like 5+ years. And also, he hasn't even been in the military that long yet, like a year and a half. He's been way less. So the fact of the matter is, he wouldn't be at this breaking point that he's just looking at these photographs of women and touching himself at the camp. It's just not there yet. Now, the second thing, of course, is this idea that V and Jennie have allegedly broken things off. This was reported before they had fully enlisted, and so if that is true, then obviously V would not be looking at Jennie probably at all. Like, that's just how exes work. They don't look at each other's stuff, and when they're trying to get over them and they've recently just broken up, they're not looking at each other. So probably not gawking at her while he's in the military after things had just broken off. Also, how much time do you think he has that he's just going to be sitting there watching videos of his ex and just fawning after her? I don't know. It's also very interesting because V recently believed to be getting into another controversy, and it wasn't anything that he did, but apparently Jennie posted a picture on social media somewhere where she showed a dog, and people believed that the dog looked very similar to V's dog. So V's dog is a Pomeranian, and so this dog that was allegedly in the picture, some people also believe that their photos were taken in a bedroom, or that she was trying to insinuate that they were in a bedroom together, or that Jennie was insinuating that they were together romantically. Now keep in mind, a Pomeranian or a cute dog like that likely would get anyone to want to take a picture. Like, anyone's going to think, oh, that's a cute dog. And from a marketing standpoint, it's actually extremely genius. And I don't mean the controversy, I just mean the fact that V had pushed his dog so heavily during his solo career that he even put his dog's face in the box of the album. Any person from a marketing standpoint can look at that and say, oh, well, that was really successful. People really liked this dog. Maybe a Pomeranian dog is extremely marketable. So that's first of all. Second of all, if she had been in a relationship with V, Jennie, and I'm saying if, then of course she would then miss V and his dog. And then third of all, which is probably the most likely one, it's literally a Pomeranian dog. Like, she could have literally had one. I don't know what everyone's pets are, and also it's quite impossible to know because for the longest time we didn't even know that Suga had a cat. Literally could have had no idea what pets they had. So that means that Jennie could have a Pomeranian and we just aren't aware of it. And thus, this could be a picture of her dog that she might have had even before meeting V or before the rumors or whatever it is. So a lot of these assumptions are quite odd, and to assume that they are still seeing each other or that they're seeing each other at all because of a dog is very interesting. There is always so little evidence that people harp onto. It was extremely interesting because even around the time when the alleged photographer took a picture of V and Jennie holding hands, there were not that many people that were holding on to that as evidence. They were just kind of like, oh, it seems real, it might be true, and then they just kind of move on, whereas people will take evidence like this, where it's the picture of a dog, and then harp on it and say that this is true. And it's so odd because, like, the most obvious and blatant pieces of examples that are more likely to be true, like it's more viral, it's more widespread, people are supposed to be more likely to believe it, but they don't believe it. But then they believe stuff like this. And I personally don't know what to believe about holding hands thing, because there are some people who swear that it's not real and the label has yet to make a statement. So we really don't know, and I'm still saying alleged here. So I really don't know either, but to me, that's probably the only piece of evidence that I would even consider thinking twice about before deciding whether something's real or not. Whereas everything else to me is just blatantly fake. Let me know what you think. Make sure to check out Patreon for more videos, link down below. Thanks for this lovely comment right here. Love you, bye.